My name is Bernie Farber. I'm CEO of Canadian Jewish Congress. I'm the present part of the Jewish leadership. This is the new Jewish leadership, and I think we are in fantastic hands. My dear friends, what a difference a day can make. On Sunday, May 30th, the Jewish community of Toronto took to the street in its thousands to participate in the annual Walk for Israel sponsored by UJA Federation. There, on a beautiful day, we were joined by our friends from many communities to express our love for Israel. The day was made more special by the presence of Prime Minister Bibi Netanyahu, who spoke of Israel, its longing for peace, and its need for safety and security. There were, of course, those protesting the walk who questioned our longing, who denigrated our needs, and wrapped up their false arguments in a disgusting tissue of lies, calling Israel an apartheid state, but they were in the minority on that beautiful day. 24 hours later, the sun had seemingly passed behind a cloud, and Israel once again was characterized with language designed to demonize and to delegitimize. We are pirates. We are violators of international law. We are murderers, we are child killers and bloodsuckers, we are the enemies of peace. We are the practitioners of apartheid, and we are the truncheon-wielding police of Selma, Alabama. So what can be said in the face of all of this? What can be said as our enemies, ignorant and willful, compose this new al-Khayt and try to bend our arm to our breast so that we may beat ourselves into penitence? There is only one thing to say, my friends: it will never happen. We will not we will not as a community accept the fantasy that others have of Israel as being its reality. We will not accept the explicit notion that Israel is forbidden to protect itself, nor will we accept the implicit notion that the only good Jew is a subservient one or a dead one. We will not accept these notions. And we will not accept the notion that the rules which apply to every other nation in the world are somehow suspended in their application where Israel is concerned. We have the right to defend ourselves from those who would do us harm. Now, on the screen behind me, I am told, there are images that have been taken from anti-Israel rallies held in the week since the attempted breach of the Gaza blockade. Are they up? Okay. Two things strike me immediately. The first is not so obvious. Look at the faces of the people who are carrying the placards. They are, for the most part, calm, relaxed. I would almost feel better if I saw some anger. That would at least explain in some measure the hateful messages that they carry. But this workmanlike attitude is more chilling. It reminds me of how many years ago I stood in front of the Israeli consulate watching a Palestinian community leader rouse his crowd with a chant of Sharon and Hitler both the same, the only difference is the name. And a few hours later, this same leader, composed and fresh, appeared before TV cameras and was interviewed, speaking calmly about the desire of Yasser Arafat for peace. The second point is more obvious. The concerted effort to link Israel and its leaders to the darkest periods of human history. Netanyahu has the same soul as Hitler, they say. Israel is synonymous with apartheid, with racism, with ethnic cleansing. Israel is, simply put, a devil state. And what is to be done with a devil state? That too may be simply put. Israel belongs to the Palestinians. This is the peace that is being offered to us, the peace of dissolution. I've seen this message before scrawled on a synagogue door, a swastika accompanied by the words, "Not wanted here. Get out, Jews." What can be said in the face of all this? What can be said as our enemies call for our disappearance as the answer to their trials and tribulations? There is only one thing to say: it will never happen. We are here and here we remain. Peace can be had, but peace cannot be had at simply any price. A few days ago, the Toronto Star carried a bizarre opinion piece by Jonathan Power that captured in 3 words all that is misunderstood about the conflict in the Middle East and defined perfectly the true meaning of proportionality. Speaking of the manner in which the Israeli commandos were attacked once they landed on the deck of the Mavi Marmara, Power pushes the savagery aside with this precious observation that the individuals who attacked the Israelis were a tiny minority, and here it is, only modestly violent. Modestly violent. What in the name of the Oxford Dictionary does that mean? Power helps us. Well, they didn't succeed in killing a single soldier, he said. It would be unfair and uncharitable for me to say that I almost sense a level of regret in those words, so I won't say it. What I will say is that when I am surrounded by a group of thugs hitting me with iron bars and stabbing me with knives, I am unlikely to pause in my struggles to decide whether what I'm experiencing is violence of modest or immodest variety. But clearly, this is the world's expectation for Israel. Wait. Wait for the shipments to be unpacked and unsupervised by Hamas. Wait to see if the containers hold grain or grenades. Wait to see if the fellow with the iron bar is really trying to hurt you or just wants to rough you up modestly a little bit and be guided appropriately. Wait to make sure that the world approves your strategies before implementing them. If history has taught us anything, it is that waiting does not work as a strategy. Nor, for that matter, does waiting until the fellow holding the iron bar makes contact with your skull. If history has taught us anything, it is that you take your opponent at his word. If he calls you a Nazi, then he means it. If he says that Israel has no right to exist, then he means that as well. And it means that we should not comfort ourselves with the words of Jonathan Powers, that the language of our opponents is only modestly hateful. We must stand against the demonization and against the delegitimization and against the double standards. We must stand in support of Jewish honor, and most important, my friends, we must stand today and always for Israel. Thank you.